What's up, family? Let's create us a customized deck. See what messages come out. I just saw whole body breathing. So I've never done it without looking. I think that is more fitting. Alright, I think maybe a couple more group pulls. That was a couple already. A few more. I think we're good. Hope everybody's doing fantastically. Divine forces of unconditional love, light, peace, wealth, health, prosperity, and everything good, lovely, and wonderful. Please bring clear and accurate messages for the collective at this time. What do we need to know for our highest good? What do we need to know for our highest good? I think those muscles are called the scalene muscles. I think so. I gotta get refreshed on my muscles. I'm almost like really, really tempted to research that. Okay. My bad, y'all. I've been needing to pull this book out anyway, so you may be doing some studying. Scalings. They should be in this particular part of the book. And I'm not seeing it. Hold on. Okay. It's in the neck, and it is on the side of the neck. So these are the scalings. So maybe I was right, but I feel like I was flexing all of this. Maybe you need to do some neck exercises as well. Get a good neck massage. Get a good massage. Let's just go over these cards. We're going to put them back. It says no longer negotiating with low efforts. Period. Empress, royalty. It says they are trying to run. Let them. The fuck. This may be in a relationship that felt like, you know, when you guys got together, felt like you've known each other forever. You know, someone that you thought was going to be a life partner. But this next card says blatant deceit, no matter how small, should not be tolerated or overlooked. Distance yourself. So that's the reason why you've been having maybe a really hard time releasing a person, place, or thing, because you thought it was going to be something that was going to be with you for your entire life. But Spirit is pushing you outside of your comfort zone to strengthen you for a huge opportunity. Spirit needs to know that you will choose yourself. Spirit needs to know that you will listen to guidance. Because yes, this person was supposed to be your life partner in some way, shape, form, or fashion, but they didn't want to let go of their low efforts. They wanted to keep you in a third party, wanted to keep, putting you in competition, perhaps even lying to you. You may have seen them lie to other people, lie to the third party, you know. But with such a connection, a life partner, and it, feeling like you've known them forever, that's a huge thing for an introvert. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge thing for someone who is a loner. But this person, I feel, was a master manipulator. They mimicked you. They know how to get people on their side. It doesn't matter what it is. They can sell. They slick it in a can of oil. I was trying to think of like those little colloquial colloquial phrases. I know I fucked that one up. But they are very conniving. They know how to get their way. It's probably a skill that they've learned since childhood. I just saw the "You Are Perfect" card. So yes, this person may have even took advantage of you, made you feel some sort of way. But I really do think they fucked up fucking with you in that type of way, because you are spiritually protected and guided. For a little minute there, they were able to get away with it because you handed over your power. These people are witches or warlocks, and they understand. I think they have a bit of an understanding of spirituality, maybe consciously or not. And they know that one way of avoiding karma coming as quickly is to convince you to hand over your power, to tempt you to relinquish control, to relinquish your wisdom, to be impulsive in decision making, or to so that you or even put you in a indecisive energy. So we have 6 months at the bottom of the deck. That could be wow. Towards the end of the year. And my left ear just started ringing. So it says, if you want love, treat yourself as if you're already in a fulfilling relationship. So perhaps you're going to be in a fulfilling relationship. Aww. Experiencing bliss. I feel like within the next 6 months, before the year is up, you're going to be in a beautiful relationship, perhaps. And you're releasing people that tried to treat you and think of you as a basic bitch. It was a big mistake, and they're going to regret trying to treat you that way, trying to treat you like just a basic person off the street, because that's not who you are. Okay? And they're going to have to learn the hard way. It says, was warned to stop the black magic. They were warned to stop the black magic and to be straight up honest with you. Either commit to you, either shit or get off the pot, like literally. None of that leading on, none of that, doing boyfriend things but don't want to give the boyfriend title type ass shit. And you finally found the strength to walk away, to compartmentalize, to take time and mental space needed so that you can delegate and separate your feelings. Because when it came to commitment, they watched you struggle when they could have helped. You know what I'm saying? You were head over heels in love with them and for them, and they took advantage of that. They did. Like I said, they watched you struggle when they could have helped. Not in a financial way, but in a deeper way. That's easy. The financial part is easy for this person. You know what I'm saying? But when things call for them to really dig deep, pull some emotions to engage their emotions and vulnerability, true vulnerability, they couldn't really do that. It says, when did they appear? When did they start supporting? Is it genuine? We have discernment and self-worth. And so this person, may have didn't start to try. They didn't do the things that you wanted them to do until you walked away. And just like you suspected that if you let them back in, they're just going to do the same thing over again. And that definitely happened. But you're holding space for miracles. You know what I'm saying? It says they can imitate you, but they can't imitate the success. Your success. Yeah, the success. So again, I feel like they imitated you and put on a false mask to make you feel as if they were your life partner. And again, perhaps they truly were supposed to. They just didn't hold up their end of the contract when it came to you guys' union. All right, so stop making excuses for her or him. Take it however it applies. I feel like you have been making excuses for them and why they didn't choose you, the trauma and such that they've been through, and how it could have affected their ability to emotionally connect with people, how they may not have healed their trauma. But no matter what, that's still not at their big age, they should have handled that. Again, you may be younger than them, but they still are younger than you spiritually. We have dealings or relationship with a woman, and then after that, someone will gossip about all your secrets. And then we also have here, be aware of self-delusion. You may have put your trust into a certain person. So we have frying pan, we have trouble and accusations. So someone is trying to tell you all your business. You may have been delusional, thinking you can trust. And this could definitely, be a woman in your life as well. A feminine energy. Stop making excuses for her. Again, beware of your self-delusion is the only thing that will make you make excuses for someone who is guilty. Okay? Next card we're clarifying is just share your frequency, and all the lies about you will be exposed. Just be your true and authentic self, and you won't have to worry about any of that. It says danger, especially in money matters. So somebody could be gossiping about you in regards to your in ways that you make money. Trying to block your money. But we have rainbow here. It says the most difficult part of a situation is over. Okay, because you see the light at the end of the rainbow. I just adjusted my little rainbow here to be in the camera. In past reads, it was kind of up to where it wasn't in the frame. But I literally just did that before this video. And look, we got the rainbow card. And look, we have the bat card. It says, take care, enemies are working against you. Gossiping about you, gossiping about all of your secrets. These women are in the energy of delusion. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what these people say about you. You are the most important thing in your reality. So it's not about what other people may do or think. If they are able to convince these other people, you know, we have obstacles to overcome, hills and valleys to climb, because you got people talking cash money shit about you. So, you may need to be careful with who you share and vent to. We have caterpillar energy here. It says things will not always be this way. A change is coming, okay? So a change is coming and will come once you recognize that you are the most important thing in your reality. It doesn't even matter what other people think or say about you, because at the end of the day, just move. if things it gets too crazy, move. But at the end of the day, just be your true and authentic self, and you will all the lies that were told about you will be exposed. Just continue to do you, okay? And we just got the casket card. It says someone going out of your life or the end of a situation, okay? Once you realize that you are the most important thing in your reality, then it won't be hard to overcome obstacles, you know. That is a way you realizing that you are the most important thing in your reality is how you take care of yourself in this difficult situation. Just share your frequency again, because it says the most difficult part of a situation is over, especially the danger within money matters. That shit is over. Just share your frequency. There's a lot of people out there that wants to prevent you from sharing your frequency. Make a mental note of people who drain your energy, perhaps by poor communication, sexually, mentally, because they don't listen to sound advice or wisdom. All right, so stop making excuses for her. It's being clarified by dependence. Okay, so it says there's something or someone you are clinging to. So this could be a mother figure. And we did, in the last reading, we did the card narcissistic parents or siblings. Did come out. Bottom of the deck is release attachments. Okay, I don't know if I told y'all, but the bottom of the deck card for the tea leaf deck is Tower, solid foundation, and success with efforts. Okay, underneath that is bread, a period of prosperity and abundance. Okay, you're about to establish a solid foundation and achieve success with effort. And the effort that you're going to have to put forth is sharing your frequency. You need to make more of an effort sharing your frequency and realizing that you are the most important thing in your reality. I feel like there's going to be a major transformation happening, tower moment, revelation within the next 6 months. Again, this dependence energy, you need to release your attachments to self-doubt as well, because self-doubt is underneath release attachment. It says there's something you need to let go of. It's either a limiting belief. So remember, you are the most important thing in your reality. Share your frequency. So limiting belief may have had you putting other people before yourself. And most definitely one of those people in everyone's lives is a mother figure. And so maybe this is telling you you have too much dependence on a mother figure, or just family in general. There's something you need to let go of, a limiting belief in untruth or negative behavior, of putting other people before you, of keeping your gifts to yourself. You need to put yourself out there a little bit more and look what is out here underneath. Share your frequency. Have faith. Okay? I feel like someone will gossip about all of your secrets and to try to keep you from putting yourself out there. They want people to attack you. Let them. If they come, let them. You are the most important thing in your reality. They want to deplete you, but a change is coming. Okay? Wow. Let me finish reading release attachments. It's holding you back and keeping you from stepping into your true potential and happiness. And your true potential and happiness rests in you sharing your frequency, because that's part of your life purpose and your soul mission. Period. Okay? So, back to stop making excuses for her. Again, a lot of us have mother wounds, whether we want to admit it or not. Women and men, we all have mother issues. We're quick to bring up father issues when it comes to feminine energy or women, but it's recently has become a conversation of mother wounds, and how our mother figures taught us to play small, to accept breadcrumbs. That first lesson was given to us by our mother. That first example of playing it small for a man, doing, carrying the weight of everything on your back. That first example was given to us by our mothers. It was reinforced by society, music, movies, TV shows. But, and this is not for everybody. Some people had a strong mother that instilled strength within them. Some of our mothers taught us to be self-delusion, to exist in self-delusion, and anybody that will gossip about all of your secrets, trust me, they got way more to hide, and they're distracting from their self-delusions about their life to talk about you, when that time could be spent on them, going within and fixing their shit. But again, there's a dependence on a woman. Again, could be a mother, an older sibling, an aunt, or something like that. But it says there's something or someone you're clinging to and it's keeping you from stepping into your light. There's too many. Release attachments. Again, even this card said it's holding. There's an attachment that is holding you back and keeping you from stepping into your true potential and happiness. There's a lot of blockages. But once you realize that you are the most important thing in your reality, you are going to overcome those obstacles, okay? And begin the change. Like I said, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Someone is going out of your life, or the end of a situation. The end of you being depleted is here. The end of you being dependent upon people who don't really have your full best interests at heart when they should. These are people that you should be able to trust. But they talk shit about you. They're in competition with you, perhaps. But it says you have everything you need to succeed, and the only approval you need is your own. You don't need the approval of your mother. You don't need the approval of your father. You don't need the approval of your ancestors. The only approval you need is your own, that of your higher self. Your ancestors, your divine forces, they work for you. You are the ultimate decision. You are the final boss when it comes to certain situations. That's why we got to be mindful of our thoughts, because we are co-creators in this, okay? So just share your frequency. I already showed y'all that have faith came out for that. Have faith in just sharing your frequency, okay? It may seem dangerous to do so, but Spirit says the most difficult part of maybe your fear of money and putting yourself out there, you may have a fear of, putting yourself out there, sharing your gifts with the world. I feel like Spirit is saying, have faith. Take that leap of faith and just do it. And of course, when you do that, that's going to rile people up even more, because they know eventually all the lies they told about you, all the assumptions they had about you, instead of coming to ask you or just accepting you. And to be completely 100% honest, with the way that your journey has gone, you can't get mad at people for maybe thinking you're not doing anything, because it does give a stillness energy that you're not doing anything, especially for the untrained eye, people who are not on the spiritual journey or path. They aren't able to see, and understand your vision. But the have faith card says it is not always easy to have faith and trust that everything is going to be okay in the stillness, in those times where there may not be money coming in like it needs to, but you're able to take care of all of your needs for the most part. Again, with this dependence here, you may be living in a situation, but you're able to handle yourself. It says, yes, it's not always easy to have faith and to trust that everything is going to be okay, yet still you must do exactly that. Because when you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you never imagined were possible. When you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you never thought imagined were possible. When you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you never imagined were possible. When you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways you never imagined were possible. Okay? And then we have depleted here coming out to clarify the card. You are the most important thing in your reality. It says you are overgiving. You need to reserve that energy for yourself. You are the most important thing in your reality. You are overgiving. That's part of the obstacles that you need to overcome, as we do have heels clarifying this. And not taking enough time to rest and rejuvenate. You are the most important thing in your reality. If you need to take time to step back to rejuvenate, do that. You're overgiving, you're overthinking about a situation. It says reevaluate your relationships, okay? And who you may be overgiving to emotionally, mentally, spiritually, maybe even physically. Do they deserve that physical giving? Whether it's intimacy, a hug, a kiss, just being in your physical space. Reevaluate your relationships and commitments, or you may soon risk your health deteriorating in some way. Okay? Again, once you realize that you are the most important thing in your reality, a change will come. That energy that you were overgiven, you are able to give to yourself. You can take the time to rest and rejuvenate. And we know that when we sleep, that's when our body heals. When we rest, that's when our body heals. When we rest, that's when our body rejuvenates. So you need to take that time to really focus on you. And also just know that you are the most important thing in your reality. Once you do that, you're going to create this solid foundation and usher in a beautiful period of prosperity and abundance. Okay? I keep trying to put the Tower card on the deck and it keeps sliding off, revealing the bread card. You better get that bread, that's money. Okay? So let's get the realist oracle card. Let's get an oracle card from the realist oracle deck. I'm going to shuffle the cards. And you know what? We're just going to take the cards off the top. After doing all that shuffling and, cutting these cards like I'm doing now, shouldn't be no reason why I can't just take the card off top. Okay? So bottom of the deck, we have awakened. We have community here. Okay? It seems that this person that you're making excuses for is trying to turn your community against you, so that you can remain dependent upon them and not explore your talents by sharing your frequency, keeping you in this energy of, danger, of fear. And then we have here, find an oracle here, clarifying you are the most important thing in your reality. Again, that's 44. And remember the bottom of the deck card that we got after shuffling this last section of energy here, brought out the Tower, which is a solid foundations. Fours represents solid foundations. And I feel like you found the oracle within yourself, or you will find the oracle within yourself once you realize that you are the most important thing in your reality and stop being so dependent upon other people and their approval of you. Because remember, the dependence card says everything you need to succeed. You have everything you need to succeed, and the only approval you need is your own. You don't even need the approval of the community around you, okay? Because they may be influenced by this woman's gossiping. You know what I'm saying? So have faith, put yourself out there, just share your frequency. Know that this is all part of the journey so that you can build a solid foundation within yourself, trust in yourself, give to yourself, so that you can have, and with those efforts you will be successful and usher in a period of prosperity and abundance. And that's just on Mary Had a Little Lamb, okay? You got to release the self-doubt. It says you are questioning yourself. Remember that self-doubt came out underneath release attachments. You need to release these toxic attachments because they have you. They are part of the, and especially just as we discussed in the previous read, if you're needing to release an attachment to a mother figure, then you got to understand that she programmed you to be dependent, programmed you to have this self-doubt. And when you hear it enough, and then it being reinforced by your environments of church, society, music, television, social media, it begins to burrow itself deeper and deeper into your core. And you don't even need that external brainwashing, because it has now burrowed itself within you, and you now embody that. So you've been in your adult life, you've been carrying a lot of self-doubt that was constantly put into you as a child to keep you from sharing your frequency, to keep you from exploring your frequency and having faith and the courage to share it. But it says you are questioning yourself. It's not your fault. It's not about the fall, but how long you stay down. And at some point in your life, you chose to get up. A lot of people don't make that decision. You are leaps and bounds ahead of so many people. And that's why you are here to lead. That's why you must share your frequency. It says you're questioning yourself and unable to move forward. Don't let fear hold you back. We have a whole bunch of cards that talk about holding you back. This one says keeping you from stepping into your light. Someone or something you clinging to is keeping you from stepping into your light. It's holding you back here. There's something you need to let go of, a limiting belief, untruth, or negative behavior. Limiting belief, all this self-doubt, the fear. It's holding you back and keeping you from stepping into your true potential. Okay? This card of self-doubt says don't let fear hold you back. You have the strength and power to see it through. See it through came out in the last reading. And that came in regards to narcissistic parents and siblings, and also a romantic relationship that you initiated the separation from. You initiated the severing of soul ties, and you initiated severing the cords to narcissistic parents and siblings. You initiated those things, but now it's time to see it through. So that may require or include moving, so that may be soon on your horizon. you know. But Spirit wants you to know and to encourage you not to let fear hold you back. You have the strength and power to see it through. Now is the time to break free from this limiting pattern of self-doubt. It's time for you to face the self-doubt. Time for you to face the dependence upon other people's approval. Time to actually see it through with some action. To have faith. And it's not always easy to have faith and trust that everything is going to be okay, yet and still you must do exactly that. When there's, danger and money issues, you got to have faith. When enemies are working against you, you got to have faith. And I want y'all to know that we have bear and bat. Bear is the energy of danger, especially in money matters. I think bear also is like a trading term in regards to the market. And so maybe that means it's on a downturn or whatever, a bear season. And then we have the bat. But in the middle of that, okay, in the middle of that is the most difficult part of a situation is over with the rainbow. Hold on to your light. Share your frequency. Share this rainbow frequency. Share your knowledge about chakras and yoga and all of the things. Have faith that you will be able to build a beautiful following and family that will support you. All right, so let's get the cosmic. Get the cosmic deck out here. So since we're gonna get multiple cards from this one, I will randomly choose versus just pulling from the top. I want to just pull one because these cards really be having the energy go deep. Okay. So, starting out, I'm just going to pull one card for each of our segments here. We have 3 rows. So we're going to pull one of these cards for each of the rows. And I'm going to pull from the top. So we have the abandonment card here. All of these cards are coming out in reverse. Bottom of the deck, we have guilt in the upright. And that's giving the energy of survival remorse. You know you're going to have to leave these people behind. Especially since we had that energy of see it through. You're seeing it through at this time. I feel. Building a solid foundation for yourself, and you are truly releasing these toxic people that made you feel abandoned. These people may have suffered from abandonment themselves. But you got to beware of the self-delusion that has kept you around in this energy for so long. You have to be aware of the entity, the abandonment entity or pain body that is or thought form that this person has created and are comfortable living with. You need to be You need to beware of delusion, because you may think this person wants to release that entity, but it's where they're comfortable, and they may not want to release that demon, that entity, you know. You know, they probably felt abandonment from their parents in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And it says with that abandonment, they experienced anger. So this person could deal with high blood pressure, as we discussed in a previous read, that the metaphysical cause of high blood pressure is anger. We literally just had that came up, I think, yesterday, and we spoke about how the metaphysical cause of diabetes is sadness. But this speaks about anger that comes from abandonment. It also has sadness here and self-pity. So, not wishing any evil on anyone, but you may know someone who has diabetes or whatever, and so know that there's maybe a lot of sadness that they are holding back. That's the reason why they like to talk about everything else but themselves, because they have a lot of self-pity and they're miserable, so they want to make you miserable. We have logic and reason coming out in the reverse as well. These people do not use logic and reason, you know. That's why Spirit says take care and just share your frequency. You are a person of logic and reason, and you can have faith in that you will be able to overcome the obstacles to explore. And even with you looking at tarot readings or buying your own tarot cards or oracle cards, like that takes courage to explore things outside of your training ground of brainwashing, the MK Ultra that was done on you as a child, unbeknownst by authority figures in your life, you know. Period. The last card here is pioneering spirit. It's in reverse. These people don't have a pioneering spirit, and they've been working overtime to kill the pioneering spirit within you. But again, once you realize that you are the most important thing in your reality, the only approval you need is yours, just share your frequency, you're going to attract your tribe and people who love what you do, you know. It says truly explore without fear, with integrity and responsibility. We just talked about these people wanting to block you from exploring, and but your pioneering spirit didn't allow you to not explore. It was always in you, you know. But there were a lot of obstacles to overcome so that you can get to this point of realizing that you are the most important thing in your reality and put yourself first. There may be some guilt, again, that comes from you putting yourself first and taking certain people off of pedestals. It says guilt that stop us from living fully, I think. Living fully and accepting love and joy. Okay. So there may have been a lot of guilt that you felt that actually have played a part in blocking your love life and your happiness. It says feel selfish for accept feel selfish for accepting. It says religion play on is that true or transhuman? True human condition. So it's funny this even brought up religion, and there again you may be having guilt because you walked away and explored other spiritualities versus the religion that you were brainwashed in MK Ultra into as a child. They want to guilt you for looking deep within and eradicating the guilt or unworthiness. They want to give you backlash for not operating in this energy and playing small like they do. You look deep within for feelings of guilt or unworthiness that keep you from experiencing love, abundance, and joy. You weren't afraid to look deep within yourself. But again, you got a lot of people gossiping and talking shit about you to deflect from their own shit. But you, instead of worrying about what these people have to say, you're looking deep within yourself and eradicating anything that keep you from embracing love, abundance, and joy. It says embrace not intellectually, but through sensing and feeling. Okay? Embrace not intellectually with logic and reason, but through sensing and feeling. So it's time for you to incorporate sensing and feeling more. And I feel like you already do. And I feel like in this energy, this is going to open you up, to contact from your higher self, your spirit guides, your divine forces, contact from maybe galactic energy or beings. It says meeting an other, okay? Once you release this guilt, all the blockages that keeps you from embracing love, abundance, and joy, once you release that, it's going to open you up to a whole new world, maybe a whole new dimension. The last reading says you are shifting paradigms. It's just share your frequency, because it is rising, and as you increase in frequency, you're able to interact with high frequency beings that may not necessarily be fully human. It says meeting and other, stepping into common ground, of unknown, and making connection with a new entity. Not that entity that has been carried on through generational curses of self-doubt, fear, living in fear, rejecting your pioneering spirit, rejecting logic and wisdom, being delusional. Like, you are making a connection with a new entity. You are ridding yourself from that toxic entity of guilt and sadness and fear and anger. You are forgiving. That's the reason why the message yesterday spoke about forgiving, acceptance, and releasing. Oh, that's beautiful. I love how it's coming together. You know, you're making a connection with a new entity and a new consciousness, right? Because you're increasing your frequency. You're about to have a new channeling experience. So open yourself for contact, building relationships with other species, because keep it 100, you're probably tired of human beings. There's no one, like, you want love, but there's no one truly on your level that you can fully surrender to. They vibrate too low. So maybe you're about to make a connection with the other being that can handle your frequency, that is at your frequency or above. You know, building relationships with other species as even Earth is increasing her frequency, because it says Earth is entering the galactic community. You being here on Earth, sharing your frequency, doing the work, is helping to raise the frequency of Mother Gaia. That's why you have a lot of people acting up right now, because they are addicted to you. You're beautiful, you know, and you're elevating, and they feel that they're going to be left behind, but it's of their own doing. And so they're running to and fro trying to see whom they can devour. They're doing everything to try to pull you back into performing old roles. You know what I'm saying? It says contact with your higher self. I love it. Contact with your higher self, spirit guides, ETs, hidden parts of yourself. It says quiet your mind and open to guidance from the universe. Quiet your mind and open to guidance from the universe. Embrace an other as they are a reflection of you and how much you have grown. But you got to release the guilt. You got to release those heavy energies. You have to forgive. Because remember, we're not dealing with the person, but the entity that is using them. We need to address that entity. And now that you've raised in your frequency and have a new consciousness and new entities that are supporting you, your higher self, okay, you have what you need to succeed. Just like the dependence card says here. Okay? You have everything you need to succeed. And the only approval you need is your own, that of your higher self. You're no longer in this abandonment issue, because your galactic family with this open contact is here to bring you that good karma energy. Because we have 89. I believe this number is going to reduce to a number 8. What's 8 plus 9? 17. Right? Reduces to an 8. 8 is abundance. Right? Infinity. Or, do the infinity sideways. Turn that 8 sideways. It's the infinity symbol. You are an infinity heir. Like, your abundance is unlimited. The love you're about to receive, unlimited. Happiness, joy, unlimited, because you release the guilt. I tried to combine guilt and fear. You release the guilt, you release the fear. You have faith, even when it wasn't easy to have faith and trust. You did that. You did that. You did the work, and you're continuing to do that. So, let's go ahead and get some. Oh, we're at an hour already. Hadn't even got tarot, and I wanted to read the Awaken card, because remember, we do have Awaken here at the bottom of the deck. Look, she has this beautiful yellow yoga outfit on. I have my little yoga outfit on. You know what I'm saying? I do plan on, she's sitting on her yoga mat. Okay. I do plan on going to the park today. And she have a little candle in front of her. Look like maybe some lavender. She has a white candle in front of her. So you may need to go get a white candle to burn it. That helps to clear out negative energies. And white candles you can use for whatever you want, you know. And then she also have another candle maybe for the scent. We have body work underneath that, which is the card of coming back to yourself. You know, showing yourself love, remembering that you are the most important thing in your reality. So making sure that you are taking care of yourself. You know, awakened is number 20, which is the card of decisions. Look, awaken. It says higher perspective, answering your calling. That's what we've been talking about this whole time. A new person. Like you are a new person. And hell, again, you may be attracting in a new person, someone that is awakened, someone that is on your level. You know, and that's what you've been asking for, a spiritual love. Right? It says this card means you are awakening to a truth about the purpose of your life and the choices you are making. You're starting to see where this winding road called life will lead and becoming crystal clear about what is required to get there. This could be a time of spiritual, religious, or sexual awakening. You know, so you are experiencing an awakening on so many different levels. And it may have been sparked via a sexual encounter. A spiritual encounter, or just, you know, coming into, you know, truth about religion. We spoke about that and how you released the religion that kept your family bound. You allowed yourself to explore, even though these people, you know, they did everything to keep you from doing that. They even approached you. It's like, what's so wrong? Why you gotta, what's wrong with Christianity? I mean, like, really, you know, trying to charge you up for going against the religion of the land, which is your home and family, doing something different. You were challenged and received backlash for not performing old roles. That is from a card that's in this deck, the Ascension Tension. You know, so coming out to clarify, stop making excuses for her. All cards in reverse, right? So we know, as a reader myself, I read that as external energy. But if it has a message for us, we don't ignore that. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull out all the cards. Okay, all the ones that I plan on pulling out. 8 of Swords and the reverse bottom of the deck. They want you to feel trapped. They want you to feel stuck, mentally imprisoned. But that's what you realized, you know, sex does for a lot of people. I feel like you've overcome that, because a sexual awakening, like you are using sex to elevate you versus just satisfying ego. But anyway, and you're letting go of limiting beliefs. Religion is limiting. Spirituality is open. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have the Hermit card in reverse, so you could be dealing with a Virgo, We also have the Queen of Wands in reverse, so you could be dealing with a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or I think Scorpio. I think Scorpio is fire as well. And baby, we got the Ten of Swords. Like, these people have been doing everything they could to make you feel the abandonment that they exist in. Did everything in their power, honey. Do you hear me? To keep you trapped in the same imprisonment that they're in. Okay? We also have the King of Pentacles here. So you could be dealing with an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. You know? But these you stop making excuses for people who betrayed you. They betrayed you. Caused you a lot of pain, a lot of loss. Because you lost a lot of time and things, opportunities perhaps, being in such a low vibration because they had you, you know. But you overcame. You didn't allow them to snuff out your pioneering spirit, and you held on. And now you are in the energy of recovery, hope, healing, new beginnings, and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And that is triggering people. It's triggering their insecurity. That's why they want to gossip about all your secrets, but ain't telling their shit. You know, that's why they have a lack of creativity on how to come out of this energy, lack of leadership, you know, especially if it was a mother figure or an older sister. They didn't lead you correctly. They didn't want to. They wanted to keep you under them. They didn't want you to exceed them. Lack of passion and doing better, and coldness. They may have even been cold towards you. And then when it comes to a masculine energy with this King of Pentacles, could be a masculine energy, could be a woman operating in her masculine energy, which both of these energies could have. This Virgo energy with the Hermit. These people wanted you to be in isolation. They wanted you to be lonely. You know, they wanted you to feel the withdrawal, the abandonment, all of the things that they felt. But you've always been confident. You've always been very creative. You've always been a leader. You know, you set trends. You see patterns and trends before they even become popular. Like you've always done that. You know, you've always embodied, because the next set of cards we're clarifying is we have the King of Pentacles and then the High Priestess in the upright. Here are you coming out, baby, in the upright. With intuition, secrets, mystery, inner wisdom. You know what I'm saying? These people suffered from greed, materialism, arrogance. They made financial instability. They wasted a lot of money on stupid things, on material surface things, and they overindulged. But you were always in more of a balanced energy. Okay? And people that operate in this energy, they will always feel a loneliness. It doesn't matter how many people are around them. Someone that is greedy, they are never satisfied. And you may have felt that about your a narcissistic parent or siblings. It's like no matter how much you do, they're never satisfied. Depleted. Rock bottom. Because you tried. But just like the depleted card says, you are overgiving. and you're not taking enough time for yourself. You're not taking enough time to rest and rejuvenate. Reevaluate your relationships. Family, friend, intimate. Reevaluate your relationships and your commitments. Or you may soon risk your own health deteriorating in the same way. You may risk yourself falling into that old frequency and not evolving, which stagnancy equals death. Okay? When the blood is stagnant in the body, something is about to die. You know, when the blood stops flowing, something is about to die. When the blood stops flowing smoothly to a specific organ in the body, some kind of disease is about to happen, and death, a slow death, is upon him. Okay. Well, we got the Three of Pentacles here. We already know that, you know, you're about to get in contact with new energy beings, new entities, new consciousness. So there's a collaboration here. You got a new family, spiritual family that is collaborating with you to help you master and overcome these obstacles and people that are enemies that are working against you. Help you to overcome the danger that may be trying to lurk around you, period. The King of Wands came out, and we already, for me, the King of Wands represents protecting your peace, protecting your growth, your frequency at all costs, okay? But your ancestors, they recognize you. Damn. So far, the King of Wands is the only card that came out in the upright. There's a lot that you are protecting yourself against. Again, this card says take care. Enemies are working against you. So part of you taking care is, you know, doing the things to rejuvenate you, the rest, going to the park, maybe getting a foot massage, going to treat yourself, you know. So with you having that wall up of protection, using logic and reason, but also a good balance of sensing your way through, sensing your feelings, and allowing it to guide you as well, because that's part of intuition and the way the divine and other energy beings can communicate with us. And again, we're open to divine forces of unconditional love, light, peace, wealth, health, prosperity, and everything good, lovely, and wonderful. As you increase in frequency, the more benevolent the energies become. The lower in frequency, you know, the more, I guess, evil, if you want to use that, energies become. But you are balanced, okay? So, if they want to go low, you can go to hell. You know, because you've learned how to integrate the energy. And you tap in when you shapeshift into whatever you need to be at the time. But again, with this with the King of Wands here, leadership, vision, you have a vision, entrepreneurship, you got businesses you want to create. And you're very passionate and confident about it. But again, you got a lot of people trying to work against you. People that are imbalanced, they're overwhelmed, they have an inability to prioritize, they have a lack of focus and financial instability. That's the reason why they want to distract you. Again, they don't want you to exceed them, but they're not going to be successful in that with the Justice card here in reverse. You know, these people are imbalanced, they are unfair. And they feel since they're not getting justice, they feel like they're being done wrong. You know, everybody's to blame except them. But this Justice card is a number 11. That is a portal. And people are choosing to go in the opposite direction and not up. They are biased. They are imbalanced. They rest too much on one end of the spectrum versus finding their center and finding their balance again. Their imbalance is here on this card. Okay? And so you stepping into your power is draining their strength because they were draining you. You were their good luck charm. The more they could get you to hand over your power, they were able to siphon it. But now that you're taking back your power, they're starving. Okay? So now self-doubt is creeping. The ditch they dug for you of trying to instill that self-doubt into you, now let them throw they bitch asses up into that shit. Weakness, insecurity, lack of control. Insecurity is here twice. They are very insecure. Okay? And then we have the Queen of Swords here in the reverse. That's why they're cold. That's why they're bitter. That's why they lack empathy and couldn't support you the way you need it. That's why they were able to be cruel towards you and isolate you. And so we have the heartbreak card here because it's bittersweet for you. You know, these are people that you truly love and wanted to grow. You spent so much time investing in them and self-sacrificing yourself to help them grow. But again, the first card out was the Dragon card. Beware of self-delusion. How many years do you have to lay down so that they can walk on your back? It's time for you to fight back with the 5. And Spirit is just letting you know there is these people are in competition with you. Again, challenges, conflict, but we have growth and energy. Okay? You're not afraid. You're not afraid to face the challenges. You're not afraid to compete because you know you have done the work and you are equipped. You're not afraid to face whatever conflict. You know. You know, it may be really hard to see these people that you once held in high regard having to be removed from that seat, from that chair in your life. But I feel like you are sparking these people to grow. Look at that. 3 of Wands, bottom of the deck. Progress, expansion, growth again, foresight, and partnerships. Okay? As you tap into your higher self, with the find an oracle, the oracle that you found is your higher self. You are able to connect with your higher self, which is helping you to overcome these obstacles and bring in a change. No longer being depleted and overgiving to people who are stubborn and resistant to change. It's exactly what the Hangman in reverse is here, out here, representing. These people are stubborn. Okay, resistant to change, indecision. You know, 4 of Swords in the reverse. These people are hopefully they're finally burnt out on trying to keep you down, because I'm trying to remember the card. It's like they can keep climbing over the wall. They can keep trying to attack you, but all they're going to do is keep finding a wall higher and higher to climb. Something like that. Because each time they throw a brick at you, you catch that shit. And you use it to build your wall. And now it's built so high They like, I better stop, you know. But these people have a lack of introspection. They ignore the warning signs. Again, you may have been trying to warn them, and try to help them to grow so that they can come along with you to the next level, because the reading last night spoke about leveling up, but they ignored the warning signs. It says lack of introspection on this card, but we have the Four of Cups in the upright, and it has introspection on it. You don't lack introspection. You're not afraid of introspection, and that's why you have been able to evolve and ascend. And so you're in this energy of introspection and contemplation, just like the one of these cards said, you know, it says it's time for you to evaluate your relationships. Literally, in the same area card that we're, same row that we're clarifying. It says here, on the depleted card, you're overgiving, not taking enough time to rejuvenate, re-evaluate your relationships and commitments. And that's exactly what this is what the Four of Cups is about. Re-evaluating your relationships and your commitments. And you are seeing that there's dissatisfaction there. Apathy. I'm not really sure what apathy means. You know, we have empath, but then there's apathy. I don't know what apathy is. And I'm pretty sure my other phone is not operable. It needs to be charged. But in we got the Nine of Cups here. Okay. Which is wish fulfillment and satisfaction. You are seeking wish fulfillment and satisfaction, and you realize it's not going to be with these people who are resistant to change and stubborn. And it's causing a delay in their lives. You've delayed your life long enough. Okay, you're ready for emotional fulfillment, and you're about to receive emotional fulfillment, material comfort, and be in the energy of gratitude. And we got the Page of Cups here in reverse. Like I said, emotional immaturity, lack of direction, creative block. You are tired of this energy, you know, and you're focusing on yourself. You are the most important thing in your reality at this time. And so with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, you got a lot of people working against you, you know. But with like I said, with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it's not something that you really got to worry about, because this represents a lack of focus. So they're not going to be able to keep focus on you long enough to do anything. Also with the fact that you are divinely protected. And again, the wall is too high for them to climb now. You know, they're going to be procrastinating. So while they're procrastinating, you still going to be doing your thing and still getting ahead of them. Mediocrity. What is mediocrity going to do with your royal energy? Inability to learn and shoddy work. They may try to do black magic on you, but it's shoddy work at this point, because they don't have the patience or focus to truly learn how to do things the right way. So again, like, they doing all this while you steadily progressing with the Three of Wands. And Spirit says that's the motherfucking truth with the Ace of Swords in the upright. 10 of Wands, you're releasing that burden. Okay? Through hard work, you are going to achieve. Through efforts, you know, you are going to achieve your goals. You're going to achieve abundance, prosperity, a new beginning, material prosperity, manifestations and opportunities. You're going to manifest that, and you're going to overcome these tyrants with this Emperor in reverse. You know, you're going to overcome these people that want you to conform. and to control you. We literally had the Emperor and the Empress card back to back in reverse here. Ugh. Mother and father wounds. Empress is the mother energy. Emperor is father energy. You know? Oh, that makes sense, because that's not the Emperor, that's the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, my bad. It's the Hierophant in reverse. Let's see. The Hierophant did come out first. The Hierophant in the upright includes spirituality. In reverse, it doesn't. It's more about religion, which is limiting. Spirituality is more open, right? And then we have this Empress card in reverse, and it speaks of neglect, lack of growth, stagnation, creative blockages. Religion has blocked a lot of, this mother figure. It has blocked her, made her stagnant in a lot of ways. We got the World card in the upright. You have ended that cycle and broken that generational curse. It's completed. You have reached fulfillment, wholeness, and integration. You have integrated the poles. You're not stuck on one end. You got someone that's stagnant on that lower frequency and have a lack of motivation to go beyond it, but you have a pioneering spirit. With this Page of Wands, exploration. We have the Explore card. We already know you're not afraid to explore. So I feel like you're going to be doing some traveling. Your creativity is going to inspire a lot of people. Your enthusiasm is infectious. And you have a lot of ambition. And you're going to have a lot of people that wants to support that. And yes, it's going to be a challenge, but you're ready to overcome that. But you also have, I feel like, with the Knight of Cups coming after that, you may even have a romantic person from the past try to come in. So the entity is going to be like, if I can't use your family to get at you, I'm going to use your, you're a romantic person to try to come in and bring in instabilities, to come in to emotionally manipulate you and put you in moodiness to keep you distracted, But you need to go ahead and come up with a strategy for that deception. Don't allow this person to come in and to steal your energy or gaslight you. I feel like there may be a past relationship person coming in to gaslight you. Maybe try to tell you that your attempts are frivol, to try to thwart your lack of to instill a lack of direction. Maybe tell you, oh, you too old, you missed that opportunity. But I'm gonna stop right here with the Nine of Wands in the upright. remain resilient, determined. You're going to remain resilient and determined. You're going to persevere. You're going to tap into your courage and your strength. The question on this card, what challenges have you overcome? Doubt, fear, abandonment. Per this read a lot, okay? So we're at exactly an hour and 30 minutes in. I'll go ahead and end it. Family, I hope that helped in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I love you all, and until next time, peace. I did not want this read to be this long.